today. The show must go on. We're reacting to Warren Buffett's retirement. And I knew this day was going to come soon enough. I mean, Buffett's, he's still sharp as a rock, but he's getting older, man. And he realizes that, his days are definitely numbered. And I think he kind of wants to just really enjoy the final years of his life. And that's understandable. I think he kind of started... I think he was kind of the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway as kind of as more of a hobby than anything. But I do kind of want to see the general reactions of everybody out there. Give me one moment, though. Put the pedal to the metal and I'm off. I never get lost. You guys will have to give me a few moments. Sorry about that. It's a content machine. You gotta clean your room. You're gonna make me cry. Jordan Peterson. I do love doing the Jordan Peterson impressions. They are pretty fun. I was uploading a Spotify podcast before doing this, so let me just finish that up real quick. But we're gonna take a quick look into Warren Buffett's retirement overall. Kind of see what the general consensus is. See what the reactions have been. I mean, this is huge. Because Warren Buffett and this company have been, and also Charlie Munger, have been inseparable. But I think with the recent passing of Charlie Munger, I think it's been very tough for him to keep doing this, Because he and Charlie, man, they've been friends and business partners for a very long time. And I think it's tough for him to finally just, to keep doing it. And so it was probably about time for Buffett to retire. Not that he would, he's still, like I say, he's still sharp as a rock, even at the age of 90, whatever. He's in his 90s, I know that for sure. I think he might be 93, but still super sharp, still has it. When the news hit, I think he did the announcement at the Berkshire Hathaway meeting. It's kind of crazy. You don't see a titan like that go out so easily. You know what I mean? But he is older. I think he kind of realizes there's not much he could do to help out the company anymore at his age. And really, in a lot of senses, they're a buy and hold forever kind of company. So they're usually looking for opportunities in the market to buy and hold. So it's interesting, man. I've been studying Warren Buffett's philosophies for a very long time. And, in honor of Warren Buffett's philosophies, we'll go over a few of them in a bit. But let's see. And I think this news kind of shocks just about everybody in many ways. And now this is just to let you know, this is Warren Buffett's announcement that he made that he'll retire as CEO of Berkshire Hathaway at the end of 2025 and has elicited a wide range of reactions from investors, business leaders, and the Omaha community. I will say, though, in the investor and market reactions, the stock market responded swiftly to the news, with Berkshire Hathaway shares dropping by as much as 7% on Monday. Wow. Analysts attribute this decline to investor anxiety over the company's future without Buffett's leadership, often referred to as the Buffett premium. Despite this initial reaction, experts believe Berkshire Hathaway is well positioned for long-term success under the new leadership. And I don't foresee any real issues with Berkshire Hathaway. But this is one of the reasons why I'm so well diversified. This is how I roll. This is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot. I'm going to get the chat up here real quick. Get you chat bandits out here. Get the pedal to the metal and I'm off. Never get lost. But yeah, it's been a wild ride, and just I didn't expect that announcement, if we're going to be honest. What do you guys think about Buffett's retirement, man? I mean, there has to be some sort of reaction from the crowd on this Mussy channel. All right, so let's take a look at the chat, folks. We got some juicy chats. We got Venom77 says hi, hello, hi Venom. Daniel Michael says 1 + 1 = 11. Oh, Jesus Christ! That's some Terrence Howard math we're doing right here. Are we doing Terrence Howard math? I'm down for Terrence Howard. Anything Howardology, I'm down for. Who the hell put the muffins in the freezer? You did, typical face. I did what you're gonna do about it, nothing. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, like, overall, I'm not, Warren Buffett retiring doesn't make or break any companies as far as I know. He's a fantastic business leader for sure. He and Charlie Munger definitely changed the way that I invest. So seeing Warren Buffett retire from Berkshire Hathaway was actually a little bit of a surprise, because you think a guy like that is going to keep going until he's done. But I really do think it has something to do with Charlie passing. Here's the thing, man. I really do believe that Charlie was more the brains behind the operation than Buffett. I felt like Charlie was a more brilliant investor and had, in my opinion, a better outlook on investing. He's a very funny dude. But yeah, seeing Warren Buffett retire was huge. Yeah, I'm just a little bit surprised by all of it. But yeah, what do you guys think? Like, I don't know if there's any Berkshire Hathaway shareholders in here, but technically I do have exposure to Berkshire Hathaway's Berkshire Hathaway in general through various index ETFs that I own, which is nice. So I don't have I don't have any shares in the company. But I definitely see why a lot of people were unloading their shares. I think a lot of people were really invested because of Warren Buffett's presence. It was more of, how do you say it? It was the reason they invested in the company to begin with was not just because they believe in the company. They believe in Berkshire Hathaway, but they also believed in Warren Buffett. And I think they felt more comfortable having him at the helm. And I think that there's a lot of discomfort at the moment without him at the helm. But Warren, you have to trust his decision making as well to some degree, because I think he chose, as far as I know, to the best of my knowledge, a pretty decent person to replace him as CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. I think there's been a big overreaction. I kind of saw this coming at some point because, like I say, he's getting older, man. At some point, you kind of have to just put in the towel. I know he had a succession plan in the event of his untimely death or anything like that. I get that part of it, but yeah, seeing Warren leave is definitely a big deal, you know. Ultrafire says, "What's up, Mr. Mussy? Earth to Mike. Anyone there? I'm here, man. I'm here." So I'm doing a horizontal and vertical chat. Sorry, horizontal and vertical live videos simultaneously. So there's two versions of this playing right now. There's the horizontal one that you're viewing, Ultrafire, and then there's the vertical that's being viewed by a lot of people on their phones at the moment. But yeah, this whole situation, man, Warren Buffett retiring, dude. And I've been a huge Buffett fan for a long time, and I still am. In fact, a lot of his philosophies I hold very dear to my heart. Buy and hold forever philosophies. He and I didn't really agree on diversification exactly. Charlie, and I didn't. I'm acting like I knew these guys. I felt like I did sometimes just by watching their videos and their shareholder meetings. You get an interesting insight into how they invested and how they saw value wherever they could. I think it's there's going to be a lot of people who are going to struggle with this because there's a lot of Buffett fans. And I can't say I blame him. I mean, like, how can you not love Warren Buffett, man? He really is one of the greatest investors of all time, if not the greatest. I mean, you could argue he is the greatest investor of all time, without a doubt. It's either between him or Charlie. They're both partners in crime. Ultrafire says, "What up, Mike?" Let's get Ultrafire on the screen. Hell yeah. But yeah, this is exciting. I guess we'll go over a few different... let's go over a little bit more of the reaction around the world. Business leaders pay tribute. Prominent figures in the business world have expressed admiration for Buffett's legacy. Apple CEO Tim Cook stated, "There's never been someone like Warren," emphasizing the privilege of knowing him and expressing confidence in his successor, Greg Abel. Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates hailed Buffett as one of the greatest CEOs ever. Absolutely. And highlighted his philanthropic efforts. Sorry about that. I can't say that word. But philanthropy, basically. He's a philanthropist. JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon also praised Buffett, calling him a hero, and acknowledging his unparalleled contribution to the business world. Yeah, so Buffett was one of those guys. I really saw him more as just a really great investor, not a great CEO. Don't get me wrong, he's an excellent CEO. But in my mind, I always saw him as an investor first. And that was the coolest part about it. And a hell of an investor at that. Yeah, I think he's still the GOAT. Like I said, Charlie Munger, I think, was really the real true brains behind a lot of the operations. He actually changed Buffett's philosophy from the cigar butt approach, which was basically buy, these companies that were really excellently valued and try to get what you could out of them, as far as a profit is concerned. And that was the Graham. What the hell was the dude's name? He wrote the book that basically got Warren Buffett into value investing. Hold on, let me look that up. Ben Graham. That's right, Ben Graham. The Intelligent Investor. So really, Ben Graham was the Intelligent Investor, Value Investing, blah, blah, blah. He wrote the book that basically changed Warren Buffett's life in a lot of ways. And Charlie Munger, when Charlie came along, he changed Buffett's mind and told him it's like, the cigar butt approach to investing, it's nice and all, but you're kind of taking some risks that you don't want to take. There's a lot of risks that you take when you do the cigar butt approach. Because you're paying here's the thing, you got to be wary, man. If there is no cash flow, just say no. This is kind of a Charlie Munger philosophy right here. Charlie Munger's philosophy was way different than the whole value investing philosophy. He thought about look, you want to buy an excellent company. He said something along these lines. I'd rather buy an excellent company at a fair price than buy a fair company at an excellent price. And those statements changed Buffett's entire philosophy of investing. Just right there. And what does that even mean? Well, what it really means is, I'll give you an example. Would you rather buy Coca-Cola at a fair price, because you're going to have to pay kind of a premium to get Coca-Cola. It is overvalued on the stock market. But if you wanted to get Coca-Cola stock, you do have to pay a bit of a premium. You are not going to pay the book value to get shares of Coca-Cola. You're going to have to pay the fair price, which is not the excellent price, but it's a fair price, based on valuation. Okay, so you got that on one hand. Boom. On the other hand, then you got... Oh, hold on. Pizza's done. All right, one moment, folks. I'm going to cut up the pizza real quick. Give me one moment. All right, we're going to let the pizza cool for a second. All right, let's take a look here. Okay, so just to finish what I was talking about. Okay, so let's say you get Coca-Cola, right? You got Coca-Cola. It's an excellent company. It's a high-quality company at a fair price, obviously, because you're not going to get you're not going to be able to buy Coca-Cola near its book value. That just ain't happening. You're going to have to buy it at a price over earnings ratio, probably close to almost 30 times price over earnings, depending on the situation. Now, we have Coca-Cola on one hand, and then we got... What else we got here? Hold on. My motor. Oh. So we got Coca-Cola. Now, excellent company at a fair price. Now, what's the other one though? Michael's PP Cola. All right. Now we got Michael's PP Cola. Holy crap! Why? Okay, what is this company? I don't know. But let's see. You got Coca-Cola on one hand that has natural cash flows, wide product pipeline, well established. Then you got Michael's PP Cola on the other hand. We'll just call it Garza's PP Cola, so we all know we're talking about me. Specifically, Garza's PP Cola. And Garza's PP Cola is basically a penny stock. You're getting it pretty much at book value almost because it's such a shitty company that no investors really want to be into it. But you might be able to get a little bit of a profit off of it, but it's unknown. It's really an unknown. It has no proven cash flows, and it's a low-quality business. So basically, on one hand, Coca-Cola is an excellent business. We know that. Garza's PP Cola is a shitty business. And then you're getting it at an excellent... You're getting Garza's PP Cola at an excellent price, though. All right? And then you're getting Coca-Cola at a fair price, which is the better deal. Now, yeah, if you're a long-term investor, you know right off the bat that investing in Coca-Cola is a way better deal in the long run than investing into Garza's PP Cola. Do you guys see what I'm saying? So Charlie Munger's advice to Warren Buffett was buy excellent companies. It's okay to buy I'd rather buy an excellent company at a fair price than buy some poor company, buy some fair company. In this case, a very poor company, by the way, at an excellent price. Do you see what I'm saying? So, because there's a chance that company might just go under, or because it doesn't have the proven cash flows. Let's take a look at the comments, though, real quick. Oracle of Omaha. But yeah, definitely the Oracle of Omaha for sure. Michael Donaldson, Garza wrote the book on the love of Bitcoin and Brony Brothers. I need to write that book, or at least I need to have AI write a book about my life. I think I might have it do that. Pepsi is better than Coke, says Michael Donaldson. I do like Pepsi, I'm not going to lie. I do prefer, if you give me a Pepsi over a Coca-Cola, I do prefer the taste of Pepsi. However, I will say this, though. I've had warm Pepsi, and I've had warm Coca-Cola, and I actually prefer Coca-Cola when it's warm. I mean, I prefer it cold is what I mean, but what I'm saying is, if I have to choose between warm Pepsi and warm Coca-Cola, I'm choosing warm Coca-Cola over warm Pepsi. If I have to choose cold, I don't know. Actually, Coca-Cola has kind of grown on me over the years. A little bit more than it used to, and I think I might choose Coca-Cola. I'm a Coca-Cola shill, you guys. I'm sorry about that. Pepsi, Ultra Fire saying Pepsi is on sale at Costco at the moment. PP Cola rocks. Hell yeah. So now, using that example, comparing Coca-Cola to Garza's PP Cola, obviously, what would you choose? Would you choose my fair-ass company that basically doesn't have any proven cash flows, but is trading really, really close to the book value of the actual company, which isn't much, by the way? If you want to take a chance, sure. If you want to diversify, maybe you're into Coca-Cola, great, but maybe you want to diversify a little bit just in case, Garza's PP Cola takes off. Maybe you'll buy a share or two, who knows? But that's just an example. And I hope it's a good one because it kind of gives you that contrast. Obviously, I call it Garza's PP Cola because we all know it's a shitty company in this, a shitty fake company compared to Coca-Cola. But yeah, Coca-Cola has a wide product pipeline, man. Like, they're one of the greatest companies out there. And, there's a reason why Warren Buffett loves Coca-Cola, the company and the drink. Ultra Fire says Pepsi tastes flat compared to Coke. I can agree with that to some degree. I think Coca-Cola is very carbonated. That's one of the things I like about it. Pepsi's carbonated, but definitely I will say that I will take Coca-Cola any day for the most part. Oh shit, dude! So they're saying Burger Planet's watching me. Oh my god, we might be able to make some history. If Burger Planet's watching me, then I might be able to watch Burger Planet at the same time that he's watching me. Hold on. Burger Planet. Is he really dude, if he's watching me, I'm gonna shit my mussy. I hope he's watching me. That's funny. He's live right now. He doesn't appear to be watching me. Yeah, I'm looking at his live channel. I don't see anything going on, man. Do you guys think I should start streaming on Kick? I'm starting to contemplate it. Yeah, I don't see Burger Planet watching my mussy, dude. Unless he was like watching me like an hour ago or something like that. I could see that happening. I gotta see what this man's saying about me. Like, he's my new #1 fan. He's like, I'm going through his shit right now. Man, he watches a lot of stuff, man. I don't know how he does it. I kind of just drone on about one little thing. Is he actually? I can't believe he's actually watching me, man. I don't think Burger Planet's watching me, bro. I don't see him. He's live, but he ain't watching me. He ain't watching my mussy. Unless he decided to watch me at the beginning of his show. Which I could see that happening. Maybe I'm going to accidentally become one of the most popular streamers of all time. I sound kind of like, I sound like Kmart Alex Jones, dude. Well, thank you, Burger Planet, for making the show way more popular than it deserves. But let's focus on my man Warren Buffett. Ultrafire asks, are you invested in the Russell 2000, Mike? I do have an ETF that exposes me to the Russell 2000. I can't remember which specific ETF it was, but it tracks the Russell 2000, yep. Which, honestly, I love diversification, so Russell 2000 is great. Let's see. Marfan support group, Burger Planet is watching. I would rather invest in Litecoin. Burger Cock, hell yeah, says Ultrafire. I didn't see him watching, man. I think you're lying. You're lying through your teeth, but that's okay. Yeah, overall, I think the great thing about Warren Buffett is just he was a big mentor to me. I never met him in real life and never talked to him. All my mentors, the majority of my mentors, I've never even had a conversation. They don't even know I exist, as far as I know. But I would, before Warren Buffett passes away, if he did actually acknowledge my existence, though, even just gave me a little shout out, be like, "Hey, Michael Garza show, you're the best." But that's not. I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. But that's okay. That's okay. You know. Marfan support group says Fridge Tour or Riot, you whore. I'm gonna be eating some pizza here in a second, though, you guys. I'm gonna be eating pizza in front of you like I always do. I don't know why I eat in front of you guys so much. I got a problem, man. I just love eating in front of you guys. But yeah. Overall, I don't know what to say. Give me one moment. I realize I haven't posted anything on Garza Medias in a while. I gotta start posting more blogs and stuff like that. I'm gonna probably just make it a full AI-driven blog at this point. which would be kind of cool. I'm not above, as I'm not a great writer, but it would also help me improve my writing style. So, yeah. The Pink Pony Club. I got the Pink Pony Club stuck in my song. Stuck in my head. Pink Pony Club song stuck in my head. Jesus. Oh, man. Give me 1 second, folks. I'm putting a short clip to Spotify real quick. When did this post? Hold on. Properties. I have to look at the properties of this real quick. Let's see. Once it's downloaded, 637. Cool. Yep. The Pink Pony Club. I got that. I swear to God, I got that Pink Pony Club stuck in my head, man. Lives rent free in my mind. So I'm trying to get the podcast a little bit bigger because I am monetized on Spotify, and I think it would be smart for me to really try to get a bigger following on Spotify. Just in case. You never know. YouTube can be a fickle son of a bitch sometimes. All right, my brony brothers, let's take a look here. See, I'm going to eat some pizza in front of you guys here in just a second, though. As I naturally do. Got a little bit of sun today. I'm feeling pretty good. Put that suntan lotion on my butt. Everybody tells me I'm just a butt slut. Yeah, how do you guys feel about Warren's retirement, though, man? I think it's, I'm still a little shocked because, like, I really thought he was going to pull a Charlie Munger and just keep doing it until he's dead, you know? But Warren's a little different in that way. I think he's just like, as much as he loves working and stuff, I think he misses Charlie. I think it was one of the main reasons I think he came into that job every day was because of his friend, Charlie Munger. And when they did their first Berkshire meeting without Charlie, I think it really affected him in a lot of ways. And, obviously I don't know these two guys personally, Charlie and Warren, but they definitely made an influence. They made an impact on my life as far as being an investor goes. I got several investor mentors for sure. I got Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio is one of my favorites, though. I like his theories on diversification across asset classes and stuff. I think it's fantastic. I would consider Ray Dalio kind of the anti-Warren Buffett. Not that he was ever against what they did, but he just really isn't. He's about value and stuff like that and being exposed to things that are valuable, but he spread out his risk. That's for sure. And as a hedge fund, you kind of have to. I love the way hedge funds do their thing. They're basically playing both sides of a coin to some degree. I love betting against Bitcoin, for example. That's the closest thing. That's the closest action to being a hedge fund that my portfolio has. But man, I'll say this though, Warren, you really changed the game. You're iconic. Your shareholder meetings are educational beyond words. I love watching those. They're a little boring sometimes, but they're so educational. You can learn so much from those. And it's a shame to see you go, but you are getting older, man. I get it. If I were your age, I mean, I would have retired a long time ago. I never want to be the CEO of a company. I just want to be a silent investor and kind of live my life. You know, I wouldn't mind just doing DoorDash for like part time while receiving dividend income. That'd be nice. But yeah, just invest. And I love swing trading. I love betting against Bitcoin. It's fun. I just think that Bitcoin's not the future. So it's not every day you get to bet against a Ponzi scheme. So betting against a Ponzi scheme like Bitcoin's always a very enjoyable experience. This is awesome. One moment. I'll be right back. Gotta. That turned out pretty good. Avocado oil right there. Here's the mukbang you guys all wanted. There we go. While I'm eating, this is mussy time. I gotta do this with my mussy, man. Beats eating ASMR with the mussy? Yep, absolutely do. Thank you, Martin. I feel pretty unstoppable whenever I'm unleashing my full mussy power. I'm gonna have another slice of pizza one moment. Thank you, guys. Mm-hmm. Let's roll. But, Buffett, we'll see what other reactions we can find here. Shareholder sentiments would be like, shareholders attending the annual meeting in Omaha experienced a mix of emotions. Many were surprised by the announcement despite anticipating it eventually. One shareholder likened Buffett's departure to seeing my granddad retiring, reflecting the deep personal connection many feel towards him. Others expressed optimism about the company's future under Abel's leadership, noting his alignment with Buffett's values and management style. It's a values-based company, man. And I think that's what's going to allow Berkshire Hathaway to succeed. The Omaha community also reflects on it. Local leaders in Omaha have highlighted Buffett's significant impact on the city. Mayor Gene Stothert praised his contribution, stating that he helped shape Omaha into a city known for generosity, integrity, and heart. Former Nebraska Governor Dave Heineman called Buffett the world's greatest investor and emphasized his unmatched integrity and ethics. So we're looking ahead. As Greg Abel prepares to take over as CEO, he faces the challenge of maintaining Berkshire Hathaway's success and preserving Buffett's legacy. While investors and the community adjust to his leadership transition, there is a shared sense of gratitude for Buffett's extraordinary contributions and cautious optimism for the future of the company. You have a Costco close by, Mike, says Ultrafire. Ask Ultrafire. I don't have a Costco near me. I mean, the closest one I have would be in Eugene, but I don't feel like traveling all the way to Eugene, Oregon to pack my... I do have... The closest thing I have... Well, I guess I could say this. It's not a Costco by any means, but... I do have a cash and carry, which is now called U.S. Foods. It's no longer called cash and carry. They are pretty good. I gotta go over there a little more often. I feel like I don't shop there enough. I will say that Buffett's style of investing, from what I can tell, is pretty easy to emulate. They're just going to have to look for great companies. It's really that's their whole company philosophy, is find companies and invest in them and buy them out completely. Or at least become sort of a majority stakeholder. For example, that's important. One could say that I have a more of an advantage than Warren Buffett because of the low market, because of the lower market value of my portfolio. Now, I'm not saying that my portfolio sucks. I'm just saying that, he manages billions of dollars worth of assets. I'm only managing tens of thousands of dollars worth of assets. That's about it. That's the biggest difference between my mentor and I, and that's a huge difference, man. That matters. But yeah, I don't have a Costco nearby. I wish I did. That would be nice. Like I said, I got U.S. Foods, which I need to shop. I need to start shopping there more often and see what their selection looks like. What's the other one? Martin says, I just sold my house for, am I reading that right? 4,025,000 Norwegian kroner. I think that's the type of currency. I will get 3 million after debt is paid. I can move in with my mom and buy 7,500 troy ounces of silver. Should I do it? I'm not an advisor. I'm not an investment advisor, but I will say that talk to a financial advisor if you can. Me personally, if I got a fat profit off of selling a house, yeah, I would definitely downsize for sure, and then take the most of that profit, and then just put it into a diversified portfolio of ETFs and individual stocks. That's me personally. I'm not saying that you should do that. You should talk to a financial advisor, see what's best for you. I just love being diversified, so I don't like holding cash because I know that the government's just going to keep printing the money, and eventually the dollar will be debased to the point where it's not going to be worth anything. So you want to hold on to as many assets as you can. Assets matter. I love holding on to stocks because that's basically ownership of a company. That matters. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. So ownership matters, man. Ownership matters. I can't believe Berkshire Hathaway went down like 7% today. That's insane. That really goes to show you how big of an impact one person made on that company, right? To the point where a lot of Buffett loyalists sold off. Holy shit, today is Cinco de Mayo. Oh my god, I just realized today is Cinco de Mayo and I'm not even doing a Cinco de Mayo show. This is the holiday of my people, and I'm totally fucked up, you guys. They can't print silver. That's true. That's true. I think it's a good thing to have silver. It's a nice little inflation hedge. Silver and gold. I think, a mixture of commodities might be in your favor. Silver, gold, I think would be pretty cool. But talk to a financial advisor, man. That's a lot of money. And, I would choose diversification. I would take that money and diversify it into whatever. But that's awesome, man. Give a big shout out. Ultrafire says, nice, Martin. Congratulations. Let's all give a shout out to Martin for being able to sell a house, dude. Hell yeah. Especially get a profit, man, brother. That's awesome. I appreciate that big time, man. Let's see what else we got. So Tim Smith is asking, what the hell is Cinco de Mayo? Is this a new Oli? I don't even know what that is. Aioli at Subway? That's funny, man. No, I'm actually surprised. I chose to do a Warren Buffett retirement episode. I feel like he's had more of an impact on me than Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo. But yeah, dude, today is the day of my people. Totally spaced. I don't even know. I think it's just an excuse for my people to drink. It's just like St. Patrick's Day. It's really just a drinking holiday. Ultra fire tanks. I just don't feel like drinking, man. I already drank a little bit during the Tom Green show, and not really feeling it. Kiwi says, I'm back. You're back, dude. Hello, Kiwi. Thank you for coming back. Real estate is and stocks are overpriced and silver is underpriced. Yeah. Here's the thing, though, man. There's nothing wrong with... See, here's the thing. When it comes to stocks, you're always going to be paying a premium for every company you get a hold of. The question you got to ask yourself is, are you going to be long-term about it, or are you going to be short-term? Me personally, I'm always investing. I'm always investing in stocks. I'm always investing in bonds. I'm always invested in anything, commodities, any sort of assets, right? So you got to ask yourself the question, should you keep investing? Yes, obviously you should. But let's see. But yeah, as long as you're investing in... Honestly, I think the easiest thing you could do is get into ETFs, exchange-traded funds, basically, and index ETFs preferably. That's my personal opinion, but that's, talk to a financial advisor. That's not financial advice. And flipping back, what's up? I love Cinco de Mayo, actually. Oh, yeah, dude. Go Kiwi. Get it, man. I appreciate you, G-Dog. Tim Smith says, stocks don't work. It took Buffett until 94 to retire. That's a good one, man. Warren really was really is still an inspiration to me. He's still alive, so just because he's not the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway doesn't mean anything in my mind. I think he wasn't really making a ton of decisions anyway. I think in the latter years, he was still making decisions, but honestly, they weren't really buying a lot of stocks, They were holding a big fat cash pile, though. I think they understood that there was going to be a market crash at some point, so they decided to keep a good fat cash pile as kind of like leverage, and I think that's smart. Because look, they don't really need to keep funneling more money into investments. They have plenty. Berkshire holds... Actually, what are Berkshire Hathaway's holdings? Let me see here. Let's take... show me a complete list of all the companies Berkshire Hathaway invests in. Because I am curious. I want to see a compiled list here. I never took the time to look up the compiled list. I know that they get into good companies like Coca-Cola, like what's the other ones? I think Charter was another one. What was the Geico? I think Dairy Queen even. But let's see. Martin says Buffett said if you compare my stock to gold, it's about 1-1. Meaning that they align pretty well. I mean, hey, gold is great, man. Gold is a great inflation hedge. I think silver, any sort of precious metals are a great inflation hedge for the most part. How long should you hold those, though? I have no idea. Here are the top public equity holdings for Berkshire Hathaway. So Berkshire Hathaway's stock portfolio is notably concentrated, with approximately 2/3 of its value invested in 5 major companies. This is another reason why I'm not all in on Berkshire Hathaway, by the way. A lack of diversification is a big deal to me. Anytime there's a lack of diversification, I'm like, whoa, take a step back. I need diversification in my portfolio. But the 5 major companies are Apple Incorporated, which is AAPL, American Express Company, AXP, Coca, and this is like, it's showing that they have $60.27 billion in Apple holdings, $38.2 billion in American Express. That's so crazy. it's funny because a lot of the ETFs that I have these companies in them. I do own Coca-Cola. Yep, the Coca-Cola company is $29.7 billion worth. Bank of America Corporation, 25.9 billion. Wow. Chevron, 16.36 billion. These holdings reflect Warren Buffett's long-standing investment philosophy, focusing on companies with strong brand recognition and consistent performance. Other notable investments also include Moody's Corp, Occidental Petroleum Corporation, HP, Kraft Heinz, and then BYD Co. Ltd. Additionally, Berkshire has invested in 5 major Japanese trading companies. Itachu, I don't know how to pronounce some of these. Oh, Mitsubishi's on there, though. There you go. So those are their public holdings. Hold on, let's read some of the comments real quick. Let's see. Ultrafire says gold went up $100 an ounce today. Wow. That's insane. $100 an ounce in a day. Wow. I don't know how real that is, but that's wild, dude. Get it, Ultrafire. Martin says Nancy Pelosi is the best investor. Yeah, she is. It's called outsider trading, dude. It's called being a politician, and right before you're about ready to right before you introduce a bill, you invest in whatever company you want to invest in. I think by all technicality it's legal, but is it ethical? I don't know. It's some bullshit though. That's why nobody likes nasty Pelosi. Let's see. Wholly owned subsidiaries. What this means is Berkshire Hathaway owns a wide variety range of businesses across various industries. Some of its wholly owned subsidiaries include, for insurance, they got Geico, which is, for insurance, they got like Geico, General Re, National Indemnity Company. Those are their 3 major insurance ones that they fully own. They're not even publicly traded. That's pretty cool. So anytime you see a Geico commercial, you're literally, you know that it's a Warren Buffett company. So utilities and energy, there's Berkshire Hathaway Energy, Pacific Corp, NV Energy. Transportation is the BNSF Railway for transportation. Manufacturing and retail, Precision Cast Parts, Shaw Industries, Benjamin Moore, Fruit of the Loom, Duracell. So those are fully owned. I didn't even know that Duracell was fully owned by Berkshire Hathaway. They even own Fruit of the Loom. That's insane. I love it. I love Fruit of the Loom underwear, man. It's the best. Let's see. So consumer goods and services, they got Dairy Queen. Freaking awesome, by the way. See's Candies, Brooks Sports, and NetJets. These subsidiaries contribute significantly to Berkshire's diversified revenue streams. See, me personally, man, I just own a bunch of publicly traded businesses. That's what I do. And of course, I bet against Bitcoin, which gives my portfolio a lot of money. I'm very strategic about how I bet against Bitcoin too. Cash and treasury holdings as of April 2025. Berkshire Hathaway holds approximately $334.2 billion in cash and short-term U.S. Treasury securities, representing about 53% of its net assets. This substantial liquidity positions the company to capitalize on future investment opportunities. Yeah, so when it comes to moving the needle, man, having a lot of extra capital, I mean, it's nothing to complain about. But if you want to move the needle for the company, though, you have to find great investments that'll appreciate in value over time, things like that. Yeah, Berkshire's a fantastic company. They got some good companies under their belt and that they fully own. Their publicly traded their public portfolio, though, their portfolio that has publicly traded companies in it, it has a little bit left to be desired. I don't know. I like it. It's not bad. It's just it needs to be a little more diversified. I'm a guy that believes in diversification. It matters. Like, and I think that it's diversification is not talked about enough in investing. So, yeah. But I'm diversified across several asset classes, and I'm very very leveraged. I'll tell you that. I don't have any specific weighting. Like, my portfolio isn't weighted one way or another. Michael Donaldson says, immortal. Hell yeah. Like a glampire, man. Nasty Pelosi. Are you interested in history? So Martin's asking if I'm interested in history. Historically, gold and silver ratio was between 10 to 16. Now it is over 100. That is insane. The fact that it's that's a wild price difference, actually. I had no idea. It's freaking insane, man. My biological stepson is saying, Dad, I miss our late night cuddle sessions. Are you trying to get more baby oil out of me? Are you trying to get more baby oil out of me, stepson? I'm not falling for that trick that you're saying that you're stuck, all right? I ain't falling for that shit. It's not how I roll, all right? It's Diddy. It's some Diddy shit, dude. I may be the white P. Diddy, but I ain't that kind of Diddy, all right? Yes. Oh, man. That's my biological stepson, Ty Lord, right there. He keeps begging me for... for money, and because he wants to buy, like, lubricants like Astroglide and stuff like that, and I don't know what he wants to do with Astroglide. I don't even want to ask, to be honest. I think my son, my biological stepson Tylord, is modeled too much of his actions after Diddy. What I'm saying is he needs better role models than Diddy. All right? We both, Tylord and I, need better role models than Diddy. I think we like Diddy a little too much. We want to do a freak off, but we want to do it right. All right? One of these days, the Michael Garza show does need to have its own freak offs, like a white party freak off or something like that. We'll figure it out. But Martin says more man milk. Absolutely, with Tylord, man, you're gonna get a lot of man action. That's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a lot of man milk. Unfortunately, you're gonna get too much man milk is really what it boils down to. Tylord's the man. Just going to say that right there, right now. It's crazy how much the cost of so Ultrafire saying it's crazy how much the cost of living has gone up in Oregon. I used to pay $550 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment 15 years ago. Yeah, that's rent for you, man. Rent increases over time get crazy. I think a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom even apartment, my girlfriend and I were looking at like $1,200. And so I kind of am kind of stuck at this place. I like this place, though. It's not bad. I personally like it, but while I'm living here, I'm going to try my best to make as much extra money as possible so I can maybe pay off my car early. Probably won't. I'll probably just put it into investments that'll help pay for the car on the side. Having a diversified portfolio that pays for shit, it's always really nice. Ugh. I'm a pink pony girl. The Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. Dude, I heard that song by Chappell Roan on the way to the Tom Green concert. And, not concert, but show. And I'm a Chappell Roan fan. I've become a total Chappell Roan fan. I got Pink Pony Club stuck in my head. The Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna show my penis at the Pink Pony Club. The Pink Pony Club. All right, let's see. In Eugene, that is. It said Ultra Fire. Okay. So it's like $1,200, I think, for a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. Here, typically, from what I've seen, $1,200, I think, to $1,400. So yeah, that's what I think it is. I don't know. I haven't looked in a little bit, but I'm only paying like $675, which is a really good deal. My place is kind of small though, but that's okay because I'm a minimalist, so I got plenty of space regardless. I do need to still get rid of a couple other things. The Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. But yeah, so Warren Buffett, like I said, one of my major investment brony brothers. I think I would like to make Warren Buffett, I'm going to use this as my sword, by the way. Warren Buffett, you are an honorary brony brother of the Michael Garza show. I'm going to knight you now. Here you go, Warren Buffett. I'm going to knight you here and here. And I'm going to rub your nipples a little bit. There we go. So I just made Warren Buffett an honorary brony brother. It's like being knighted, but it's a much worse fate. And it has a big social stigma if you're an honorary brony brother. So sorry about that, Warren. Gotta do what you can. Ultra Fire says Warren Buffett. Absolutely. But yeah, let's keep on going. So I do want to go over some of the... Can I join the Brony Brother Club? So if you want to be a Brony Brother, I will. You know what? I'm going to knight you as well. I'm knighting Martin. I'm going to knight you as a Brony Brother. My little bronies. All right, now Martin, I just made him an honorary Brony Brother during the show. It's like getting baptized, but you're actually ashamed of this. It's the whole point of this is that whenever you, and this is something that people don't want, you don't want to become a brony brother. All right. You want to avoid it, but hey, if I knight you as a brony brother and, Ultra Fire, you're asking for it. My little brony. So people usually want to be knighted by like the queen or whatever, but nobody's asking for this. Ultra Fire. You've just become an honorary brony brother yourself. So we got Ultra Fire and Martin. Now there's one more person we have to make. Tim Smith. You are now a brony brother. Tim Smith has now become an honorary brony brother. Who else? Oh, yes. Even though he's my biological stepson, Tylord. You are now an honorary Brony brother. Now, because you're a Brony Brothers, you now have to pay a $20 a month subscription to maintain that Brony Brother membership. I'll take any sort of payment. I'll take Venmo. I'll take I'll take PayPal. I'll take MoneyGram, for fucking God's sakes. MoneyGram me $20 to become a Brony Brother. You know, I'm going to start making that a thing. Anybody I see who's new to the chat, who's never been a part of this show, they're going to become honorary Brony Brothers by just me doing this and this. And it's actually kind of funny. That's great. Let's see. Here we go. And here we go. Ultra Fire says, beer with Garza better than beer with anybody. Thank you, Martin. I appreciate it. And I appreciate it big time. Thank you. Yep. So you're Brony Brothers now. I don't really know what that entails. You're my biological step bronies. You guys we're all Brony Brothers in this. I guess I might as well, while I'm at it, I might as well knight my other bros out here. So I want to just do a double on my buddy Nathan and my buddy Billy. You guys are now honorary Brony Brothers, a part of the Brony Brotherhood. All right. Hell yeah. Now they're bronies. Nathan's a brony now. Billy's a brony now. You're all bronies. Everybody's a brony now. They're all a part of this cult. And yeah, nobody's proud to be a part of this. Nobody asked for this, but they're getting it. What else do we want to talk about here? Hey, Raymond says, damn, dude, I haven't seen your video in a while. That's right, I got to make you a Brony brother, too. Raymond? You have now become an honorary Brony brother. Congratulations. Raymond, let's all congratulate Raymond Driggers on becoming a part of the Brony, the cult of the Brony, I guess you could say. There's the cult of personality, and there's the cult of Brony. Ultra Fire says, Mussy Crew for life, absolutely. I am in the holiest, says, do you know stock splits? I do know this. I just made I'm the holiest a Brony brother. Okay, do you know, so stock splits, yeah, for them, you mean basically it depends on which type of split. Are we talking about a reverse stock split, or are we talking about just a regular stock split? Because a reverse stock, if you ever see reverse stock split, it's usually a bad sign. If you see a regular stock split, that's a good sign. So normally what happens in a stock split, to make the math very simple, usually they're trying to make the shares more affordable so they can open it up for more investors, like on the retail level. So let's say, let's go back to my my example of Garza's PP Cola, right? Garza's PP Cola. All right. Let's say it's a high quality company and it's at $1,000 per share, right? And I'm thinking, well, nobody can afford my Garza's PP Cola stock, and I need more susceptible investors to get in to my shitty company. So how do I do this? Well, I could make it towards $100 a share, but how would I do that? How would I lower the share price? I don't understand. What am I doing? Well, here's how you do that. So Garza's PP Cola CEO, which would be me in this hypothetical scenario, would announce a stock split. And in this case, I want it to be $100 per share. So we're going to do a 1/10 stock split. It's not a reverse split, it's just a regular split. So you don't lose any value by the way, that's just a common thing I want people to know. You don't lose any value at all with a stock split. What happens is this. So let's say you had precisely one share, just one little measly share of Garza's PP Cola at $1,000 per share. Well, during the stock split, you're going to exchange one share for 10, all right? So now you have a total of 10 shares. Well, you're probably wondering, what does that do to the price? Is it still going to be $1,000 per share? What does that mean? Actually, you're still going to have $1,000 worth of Garza's PP Cola, just like you did before. The only difference is you're going to have more shares, but the shares are going to be at a lower price. So it's going to be $100 per share. And now you got 10 shares, which equals $1,000, the equity that you had before. So the overall equity dollar value of your holdings doesn't change. What happens is you're exchanging whatever, like for every one share you hold in this example, you're going to get 10 shares. You're going to get 10 shares as a result. Now, what does this do, though? Well, this obviously is going to make it to where the share price on a per share basis is naturally going to have to be lower. So now, as the CEO of Garza's PP Cola, I've accomplished exactly what I wanted to accomplish. I was able to lower my stock price to make it to where it's easier for for new investors to get in if they just want to buy on a one-share basis. Instead of having to pay $1,000 per share, now new investors can pay just $100. So Garza's PP Cola did exactly what it wanted to do. And so now in that example, like I said, if you only had one share of my PP Cola, now you got 10, but it's still going to be $1,000 worth just like it was before. The overall value of what you had never changed. You're basically just trading one share away for 10 in this example. And then now each of your shares is $100 per share. And now you got a total of 10 shares. So that's basically in a nutshell how a stock split works. And a stock split is usually a good thing. When you hear an announcement of a stock split, that's typically good news. Now, if you hear about reverse stock splits, that's no good. I think I did it backwards, though. I think it's supposed to be 10/1. Or is it 1 out of 10? No, it should be 10. Oh, it's right. Hold on. I did the math wrong. It's 10/1. Sorry. Whatever. I love stock splits, though. Whenever a good company announces a stock split, man, it's just think of it as good news, really. It's really a sign that the company's financially healthy. They're just trying to get more investors in, so. But yeah, I hope that answers the question, man. Martin says 9% for Garza is a good deal. Thank you, G-Dog. What happened to the cult of Garza, says Raymond. Oh, well, hold on. There was never a cult of me. It's really the cult of the bronies. I want to make a brony cult. You know what I mean? By the way, I want to show you guys that not only are you drinking the Kool-Aid, but I'm drinking the Kool-Aid too. I want to show you that I'm all in. Show you that I'm all in. I'm going to be drinking the Kool-Aid, all right? I want to show you bronies that I mean business. All right? I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I told you that this is a brony cult is real. I'm drinking this see this Kool-Aid? Look at that. Boom. All right? Drinking the Kool-Aid. I gotta show you guys the dedication that I have. So you know I'm not fucking. Pink brony girl. The Pink Brony Club. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, you guys. You guys are watching me drink the Kool-Aid. All right, I'm in. I'm a full brony. All right, let's take a look. Well, that's what I get, man. I bought this from Grocery Outlet. Just as long as it's sugar-free. Oh, wait, there's that dye that's been... there's some weird food dyes that they put into some of these that are a little questionable, so... Yeah, we're drinking a little Kool-Aid, eating a little pizza. Yeah. Now you prove that you're invincible. Yeah. I drank the Kool-Aid, man. I told you I drink the Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid, man. Towards that. I agree. I agree with that completely, man. Rude. Yeah. Hell yeah. Let's see. Oh, shit. All right, that was the Kool-Aid. So I'm the holiest says timing. Stock splits are not necessarily a bullish sign. General rule. Stocks that split usually outperformed the market only before the announcement. After announcement, stock performs no better than average. I mean, usually that's because everybody else is getting into it, inflating the stock price. So what happens is typically when the stock split happens, then everybody starts getting into it, and they really up that price. And so it doesn't perform as well. So it's usually best to get in before a stock split, before they announce it. Obviously, you never know, but you just want to make sure you're getting into good companies. And if you're into good companies for the long term, you ultimately have nothing to worry about. Man, I've got so many different investments now that I think about it. I'm a crazy investor, you guys. I'm always investing, man. Always. Just no other way to invest but to invest. You guys want to join me at the Pink Pony Club? Let's see. Martin asks, have you ever wondered why all words for money usually mean silver, dollar, thather, 25 grams is I have no idea. Never thought about it though. No, I never really thought about it. I will say though that, the dollars that you have in your bank account aren't real money at this point. It's they're not backed by anything, so if it's not backed by anything, it's completely pointless. This is what I know. Fridays is the best day to sell stocks. I mean, is it? I don't know. I really don't. I just believe any day that you can get a profit's a good day to sell stocks. It just depends. I usually just buy the dip on a lot of ETFs, on a lot of different index ETFs, and if, for whatever I'm swing trading, I should say. which I'm only swing trading 3 ETFs, so it's not a big deal. I just buy the dip on those, and then, when they start going back up, depending on the circumstance, then I, sell for a profit. But I'm really just swing trading a lot of the time. That's how I make a lot of my money for my portfolio. And one of the goals for me is to have my portfolio at least pay for my the majority of my car payment. It's kind of the idea behind it, but Ultra Fire says as Japan threatens to sell $1 trillion in U.S. treasuries. I saw a report that was false, but then again, I mean, who knows? Here's the thing, man. One of the things that I don't like putting my money in is treasury bills. I don't trust the United States anymore. I love this country. And even though I've got treasury bonds based on a lot of the ETFs that I own, it's questionable now. Very, very questionable. But I do own a variety of different bonds, corporate bonds, government bonds, you name it. From several different countries, from several different companies. So I got bonds everywhere. But the whole point is be diversified in bonds, be diversified in stocks, be diversified in commodities. You gotta play your cards right, man. You gotta play those cards right. Ultra Fire says, let's see, Martin says best month to buy is May. I will say this, man, past performance of anything, past anything does not equate to today. Maybe May was the best month to buy, but that's not always going to be the case, You can't look at it just based on stock prices alone. You have to look at what is valuable, what is not valuable. Like, what companies are you getting into? Like, what are you investing in? You don't want to just play. You see, Martin, I love you, man, but you're looking at this from the lens of a gambler. You're just wondering when the best times to buy and sell and short-term this, short-term that. There's no long-term holding strategy. 80% of my portfolio is long-term holdings. 20% of it is just swing traded. The point is, the swing trading part keeps it active, keeps me more involved in the portfolio. But yeah. Ultrafire says, I agree, too much manipulation. Yep, without a doubt. I'm the holiest says, Sia may come back by a nice channel. Thank you, bud. I appreciate it. Appreciate the compliment. You're a brony brother now. You're a brony brother. Raymond says, what is it, 25 years for those bonds to mature? Yeah, I think some of the bonds take time to fully mature. While you're waiting for them to mature, though, you do get a pretty nice little interest rate, which is pretty cool. I'm all about what sort of interest can I get on the bonds, I'm not a big fan of bonds. I'm not a huge fan of bonds to begin with. I just prefer having diversified portfolio of stocks. But as a safety net, you should have bonds in your portfolio, without a doubt. That's not financial advice, by the way. I'm the holiest says have to pray. Gotta. Sometimes you gotta pray, man. I get it. You don't do your thing. Do your thing. All right, you guys, I'm a little tired. Any questions that you guys want me to answer? Any comments you guys want to say before I shut this thing down for the night? Just let me know. I will say one final note, actually, before I shut this thing down for the night. Ultra Fire says, Martin, I like you, bro. Respect. Thank you. Hell yeah, get it, Martin. Martin's the man, dude. But yeah, try not to be a gambler is all I'm trying to tell you, okay? I don't even want you to take that the wrong way, man. You just don't want you to think like a gambler, okay? There are certain patterns that you're going to notice, but the past patterns do not matter at the end of the day. Like your hustle, respect, hell yeah. Oh, final note. Isn't it about 10% of bonds in your total portfolio? Well, actually, now that I think about it, I'd probably say 15 or 20. I think it's about 15% bonds. The rest of it's basically just well-diversified stocks and commodities and stuff. And I prefer to actually have more commodities than stocks, but take that back. Rewind, I'd rather have more commodities than bonds, but bonds do give a good yield in the sense that you are getting something. You know, if you have commodities, you're just kind of relying on price appreciation. You don't get any dividends from that. So that's something there. Martin says okay. Yep. As you get older, let's see. Ultrafire saying, as you get older, you should probably acquire more bonds, less risky. I don't know. Here's the thing, man. I never plan on selling my portfolio. In retirement, I plan on just living off the dividends, living off whatever I got, whether it's the bond, ETFs, the stocks that I have. The majority of my portfolio is meant to never sell. It's meant to just hold the dividends, let the price appreciation happen, and live off the dividends for the rest of my days. And then once I die, then my living will is going to allow my children to basically be trust fund kids. If I have kids, that is. I'm fine with my kids being trust fund babies, so I don't really care about that. That doesn't really bother me much. But yeah, I think as you get older, I think acquiring more bonds is a good thing. But I have a well-diversified portfolio of stocks overall. So if you're hyper-diversified, like, you know, U.S. equities, international equities, that sort of thing, I mean, you really don't have much to worry about. You could, in theory, have a well-diversified portfolio of just stocks and be fine for the rest of your life. And never have to sell them. But me personally, like I said, I do like bonds because I do like the guaranteed yield, or the near guaranteed yield, I should say. Yeah. Are those municipal bonds? So municipal bonds are more like local government bonds. Spice Girls, if you want to be my lover, is on, says Ultrafire. Hell yeah. But I want to just kind of leave on this final note, you guys. So Warren Buffett's retirement came as a shock to everybody. But he's older. I think the people knew it was going to happen. They just didn't expect it to be so soon. And my theory behind it is he misses his business partner and friend, Charlie Munger. I think that's a big deal to him. And honestly, if I was in business with a friend of mine, somebody very close to me for years, and they passed away, it would be tough for me to want to go back to that every day. So I think Buffett just wants to get away from that and spend, you know, his remaining days with his wife, and he misses his friend, and you know, so it's a big deal to him, for sure. That's my thoughts behind it. I think he had whatever reasoning he had. He's getting older, you know, and sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Chill Toad says 666 says Spice Girls are the shiz. Hell yeah, dude, absolutely. But hey, what do you guys think about Warren Buffett? You know, leave a comment in the leave a comment. Check out the description below for the different links I got in there, affiliate links and stuff like that. I'm an Amazon associate. I get a small commission. It doesn't affect you in any way negatively. Let's see, but yeah, overall, I'm not surprised by the retirement announcement. I knew it would happen eventually. So it was just really kind of counting the days. It made sense that he would do it at a shareholder meeting, though. I think that's really smart of him to do. So the announcement was made to the people who were at the shareholder meeting first, which is cool. Let's see, they're all pretty hot. Well, I want to get drunk with Garza and listen to Spice Girls, says Martin. Absolutely. I do love Spice Girls, by the way. I think it's great. If you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends. Make it last forever. Friendship never ends. If you want to be my lover, you have got to give. And taking is too easy, but that's the way it is. You know about that? Now you know how I feel. Say you can handle my queefs, are you for real? Now don't go wasting my precious time. If you really bug me, then I'll say goodbye. Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I really, 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 really want a zig-a-zig. If you want to be my lover, you gotta fuck me in the ass. Come on, my bussy, but sex never ends. Okay, I gotta stop singing about the bussy, you guys. It's getting out of hand. I do love singing about the bussy. But I want to thank you guys. I could do an entire Martin. That sounds like a good time, says Chili Chill Toad 666. I want to listen to Garza sing. You just heard me sing a little bit of Spice Girls. I could do karaoke renditions of singing. I could sing in the ladies section, do some karaoke renditions of songs that I particularly like out of the ladies section for sure. I do like that Pink Pony Club by that Chappell chick. It's pretty good. The Pink Pony Club. I'm going to dancing at the Pink Pony Club. All right, anyway, I'll catch y'all later. I want to thank you all for viewing. To my boy Ty Lord, Ultra Fire, Martin, Chill Toad coming in last second. That was pretty sick. Ultra Fire, I think I mentioned again. But Martin, I'm the holiest. Thank you, guys. Thank you, my Brony Brothers. I knighted a lot of people into the Brony Brothers cult. All right. I gotta stop making these fake cults. I also knighted Tim Smith as a Brony brother, so that's huge. Thank you, Tim, for viewing. I appreciate you, bud. Anytime Tim Smith is on, man, it's always a pleasure. That guy's the Canadian wonder. I realized that I didn't even do a Cinco de Mayo stream. I think that was the one thing I missed out on. I didn't even bother doing Cinco de Mayo at all. I was like, oh shit. Well, I failed my my Mexicanos. Bye, guys. Thank you guys for viewing. Appreciate y'all. Closing time. Time for you to go out to the places you will be from. And just like the greatest song of all time said, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. I know who I want to take me home. I know who I want to take me home. I know who I want to take me home. Take me home. All right, later, guys. To class. I need to start ending this. I just need to start ending the streams with that song. I just need to sing that song every time. Anyway, later, my Brony Brothers. Peace.